Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? It is 8 o'clock on the dot. Thank you for being prompt for our class tonight. I'm so excited for this workshop. Can everyone hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or a little something something in the comments. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Kate, you can hear me? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm super excited about this tonight because this is a workshop that I was able to do in person last month for a small group of women. And I said, oh my goodness, this was such a well-received workshop that I really feel like I need to do this again. And I need to do this online, and I need to bring you, all these women, I need to bring you the tools. How many of you are gatherers of all the tools? You kind of go and you are trying to find all these wellness tips and you're like, okay, that's a good one. I'm going to put it over here. Like, I'm going to remember that one. Okay, I'm going to get this one. I'm going to remember that one. How many of you have been gathering for quite some time? Anybody out there gathering for a little while? You can let me know in the chat. You can let me know with a smile. Yeah, like who has been gathering tools? My goodness. I know I've been gathering tools for a little while now. And tonight I'm going to share with you everything that I can in the next like 45 minutes. And then I see that a bunch of you are on here. I'm going to send you this file here, which is a big old file that I think you're going to love. You are going to be able to take my notes and put them into your toolkit, put them into your resources. And that is really what I'm most excited for, because I know that I am always looking for more tools to add to my toolkit. Yes, that is what mamas do. Yeah. So why don't we just start? If you can find the chat feature, I want you to tell me why you're here tonight. Like, what are you hoping to gain from this evening? And let me know in the little chat function. What are you hoping to get from tonight? It can be something specific. It can be something super general. Let me know what you're hoping to get from tonight. What would you like me to help to support you with? How to keep myself and my family healthy, learning all that you can, just trying to soak it all up, right? Absolutely. I'm using present time oil so I can be here with you right now. I love that. Continuing to build my family wellness book. What worked for my family, right? I love hearing those stories. What worked for your family? I don't just consider that anecdotal evidence. I love hearing those stories. And with a lot of those stories, I have received some of the most effective ways that I help to support my family. Okay, well, let's get started. So if you see me kind of just taking a peek to the side, it's because I am letting people in the chat room as we get started. And I am going to remember to hit record because I always turn it off. And then, yeah, so that's not going to work tonight. Okay. So I'm going to just admit these people, and then I'm going to hit record and introduce myself. Oh, it is recording. I've been recording this whole time. All right, well, I'm just going to start over right from this moment. You know, this is not like I'm so good at educating, but you know, all the technical details are not my forte. All right, so I am Sarah Marie Paul. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I see some new faces here as well. And I'm a wellness educator. I am a Gold Young Living brand partner. I actually leave tomorrow for Gold Retreat, and I'm super excited about it. So my husband and I are on our way out to Washington and out to Idaho to visit 2 of Young Living's farms all this week. So if you want, you can follow me on social media and follow my whole adventure out there. And I started to really take a look into my family's wellness about, well, almost 6 years ago. My son, I have one son, and his name is Cooper. He is the sweetest little boy in the whole world. And he is, oh my gosh, he is like the epitome of health when you see him today. However, when he was born, that wasn't quite the case. So what happened, he was born in October 2015. He was born via an emergency C-section, and he had a ton of upper respiratory issues. Lots and lots of issues breathing for his first year of life. We found ourselves on multiple rounds of antibiotic treatments by the age of 1. And that ended with a severe allergic reaction to penicillin when he was just over 1 year old. And up until that point, I felt very lost. I was doing everything quite traditionally, by the book, reading all books, listening to all the doctors, even when it felt not quite right with my intuition and in my gut. But I didn't think that I knew any better, or I wasn't ready to use my voice to be an advocate. But that day that he had that severe allergic reaction, everything changed. Everything changed for me. A fire got lit like never before. My mama bear instincts came out wholeheartedly. And once we got my son home from the hospital that night, I laid in bed with my husband and I just cried. I cried and I cried and I cried. And I said, everything has to change. This is the moment. Everything has to change. And he said, okay. I don't really know quite what that means, but okay. He's always on board with all the things. He's so supportive. And that was when I really just went searching for something else to support us. Among oils, because I'm not just talking about oils tonight, I'm talking about oils and so much more, because I always say oils are one piece of my toolbox. I have a lot of other things that are pieces of my toolbox. I have a lot of other people who are people in my village toolbox as well, who I seek guidance from and who I've learned so much from. So once I stopped and once I used my voice and I said, something's not right here. We can't just keep banging our head against the wall, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results here. And now my son has this reaction to the medication that you just keep putting into his little body. I'm saying no more. I changed doctors. I found someone who would listen to me. I found someone who would take the time to hear me, to speak to me as an equal, to not poo-poo me just because I was researching independently, but to listen to my concerns. And since that day that I made that decision, my son has not had one antibiotic treatment. He has not had one steroid lung treatment. And he's not on any type of prescription medication. So I'm coming from a place of, oh my goodness, a very fearful mama in the past. And now I have this voice of an advocate that I just want to share what I've learned with as many people as possible, in all different realms. And I don't know everything at all. I'm just going to share with you what works for my family. I'm not here to treat you, to diagnose you, or to cure you of any medical conditions. I am not a medical professional. My background actually is in education. So without further ado, that is my story. And what I'm going to share with you are things that we always have on hand. So these are going to be homeopathic regimens. They're going to be things that I have in my kitchen. They're going to be some oils, and they're just going to be some things that now I look at as common sense types of things, but things that I wouldn't go to immediately when I felt like, I don't know about you, but when you have a child who is sick in your house, and even if you have multiple children, like I just have one child, but I know I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to get sick? Is my husband going to get sick? I know all my friends who have multiple kids, like, oh my gosh, are they going to pass this through everyone, right? And then if you get sick as the most likely the primary caretaker, then what happens, right? Like, who's going to take care of you? So I know I would go into this panic mode, but now if I notice anything different in anyone, I now have steps that we do and steps that we take in order to help to preserve our wellness. And so I'm going to get started, and I have a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to share with you so that it helps to keep me on track. And then, like I said, you can take notes while we're going, because I'm going to go over a lot of information. And then I'm also going to give you all these notes at the end. I'm going to have you fill out a very short Google form that'll take about 30 seconds to complete. And I will email you the full PDF document, so you'll have all of that to keep and to share with other mamas as well. But I just realized that I didn't share a bunch of other professionals in my presentation who have helped me along the way. So one professional that helped me right away was a naturopath who was incredible. Dr. Marissa Bossler, for those of you who are local to our area in Honeybrook, she was absolutely amazing at helping me to understand a lot of things in the beginning, like the difference between whole food supplementation, the difference between synthetic supplements, the difference between, oh my gosh, like nutrition and food and things to cut immediately. If you notice that someone is feeling under the weather in your home, she does muscle response testing, and she was an absolute incredible asset to me in the very beginning. And she still is a great asset to me as well. And she works not only with children, she works with adults. She helped me tremendously too. She was a great asset. In addition, Chiropractic Care. I'm just going to go off some of the professionals, and then I'm going to get into the nitty gritty. But Chiropractic Care has completely changed our wellness for my family. My son, I take him for adjustments. I take him every 3 weeks. He now does grown-up adjustments just like I do. He does so well with it. What I've noticed is it has helped so much with, he used to get a lot of earaches when he was little. He completely doesn't get any of them anymore. A lot of his upper respiratory things have really improved. In addition, behaviors, like really up hyper behaviors, have become less severe as well. It's almost like black and white when he has his adjustments. And then third, our medical doctor is, we go to Paramedical Arts, which is in Phoenixville. They are a medical practice. So they practice traditional medicine, but they also practice anthroposophical medicine, which means that they take the mind, they take your diet, and they also take your past into account when they're doing treatments. And they give you options of homeopathy, or they give you options of modern day medicine. And I love going there. They do not accept insurance. So that is the one thing that some people have a hard time grasping or a hard time getting their mind around. But the beautiful thing about the practice is that you pay just a membership fee per whoever you want to be a member in your family. And you can schedule your appointments by the duration that you want. So if I want a 2-hour-long appointment with my doctor, I literally go on the website and I schedule a 2-hour-long appointment with my doctor. If I just need a 10-minute phone call, I schedule that. If I want an hour-long appointment, okay, it's like whatever I want. And guess what? I'm the only person in the waiting room. I'm the only person in the office at that time. This is the first doctor's office that I felt truly listened to, that really knows me, that knows my son, that knows my husband, that knows my whole family. She even bought me lunch one day. Like, she is like the sweetest woman. There's a male and a female doctor that are there. I see Dr. Greer, but those are all different professionals that I've learned a lot of the tools that I'm going to share with you tonight as well. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I am going to start the presentation. And here we go. Okay. So the Prepared Moms Toolkit. So tonight, I'm going to just briefly talk about your role as an advocate and an expert, supplies to have on hand, and also non-emergent situations and like super quick things to have on hand, but also ways to help to handle those. So your role as an advocate and expert, these are just some really good reminders that prevention and preparedness is better than a cure. So I believe that I have, if you were to come into my home, one of my whole kitchen drawers, I actually have 2 drawers, big cabinets that are filled with homeopathy. They're filled with supplements. They're filled with oils. They're filled with any of the things that we may need, especially in August. This is the time that I take an inventory before going into fall and before going into winter to order all those things now. I will go over some things that you can just grab on Amazon. If you do that, you can also do local, which is way better. If anybody has an Amazon alternative, send it my way because I order from them way too much. But I always stock up now for these things. That way I'm prepared. I know that it's not someone who is sick in the middle of the night and that I have to run out to a drugstore and get something that I don't want to be using in my home, or I have to wait until the next day to be able to get into a health food store or something like that. And are they even going to have it in the dead of winter? I'll never forget, this is why I started to learn how to make my own elderberry syrup when there was a shortage like 2 years ago and you couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm like, you have to be able to make this stuff. So that was when I started making my own elderberry syrup. Super easy to do, very cost effective. I'm never without dried elderberries now because they're shelf stable. You can do it yourself. I'm going to share that recipe with you too. Okay. All right. And mama bear analogy. So I heard this the other night and I'm trying to remember where it was from, but I can't give it credit because I don't remember at this moment. But mama bears are given that terminology or that name. We are considered mama bears because of how mama bears act with their cubs when they're in the wild. So what I heard was that if a mama bear is with her cubs and a male bear comes upon her, that the male will actually try to kill the cubs in order to then mate with the mama bear who is there with her cubs. So what does the mama bear do? She doesn't let that happen. She stands up. You've seen these proud, like powerful, incredible mama bears, and she attacks the heck out of those male bears that come into her territory or that pose a threat to her babies. And this is who you are. Like, this is who you are innately for you, for your children, and for your families. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And what I would also say is, for your own health, for your children's health, for your family's health, if something doesn't feel good, if it goes against your gut instinct, if it goes against your intuition, if it doesn't feel right, ask questions. Ask questions, make a list of questions before you go into an appointment, write them all down, demand time, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Your voice deserves to be heard. And just because you don't have a medical degree doesn't mean your opinion doesn't matter. You know your child best. You know your child best. So you can seek guidance, you can seek opinions, you can seek a second opinion, you can seek a third opinion, right? And what I always say is that when you're receiving care is to just make sure that your team of providers, that they are a part of your extended village. You are paying them, they're not paying you, and you deserve to feel good in that atmosphere. If you have something going on medically, or you have something going on medically with your child, it's definitely a high anxiety type of situation. And already, let alone going into an appointment where you feel like your voice isn't heard. So just reminders. All right, let's go down to toolkit must-haves. elderberries or elderberry syrup. And I'm going to give you a recipe to make your own elderberry syrup. I also have videos that I'm going to be doing starting next week. I have tutorials of a lot of these that I'm going to be releasing one by one on my Instagram and also on Facebook, because I had so many friends asking about these simple tutorials. So elderberry syrup is one of them. Why do I love elderberry syrup? First, how many of you use elderberry syrup or elderberry something? Let me know if you use it. Let me know if you don't. I want to know. Who up in here uses elderberry syrup? Okay. Bunch of people use it. Some people don't. Some people use the gummies. Okay. Yes. So I love it. Yay, Melanie, you're making your own syrup for the first time. Okay, cool. So yeah, I love it. I swear by it. I use it seasonally. I personally don't use it all year round because I feel like our immune system need to be able to do their thing on its own as well. But I absolutely love it for immune system support. I also love it for its detoxing abilities on the body and how it helps your digestive system as well. So you can purchase it at any health food store. You can get it online. Those are all different ways that you can get elderberries. We love the syrup. We mix it with Ningxia. I'll talk about Ningxia a little bit later. And I give it to my son. I've given it to him since he was 2 years old. I just give him a teaspoon a day. And myself and my husband, we do a tablespoon a day as an adult. The great thing is you can have it on hand. And if anyone needs any more, you can always up that dosage to 2 or 3 times a day, just to help to kind of get things going a little bit faster on your way to feeling good. Next up is chamomile. So I always have dried chamomile, organic dried chamomile in my pantry. I have a big, huge glass jar of this. And the reason being is that you can take that, and if you just take a 1/4 cup of chamomile, pop it into a bowl, put boiling hot, like straight from the kettle, hot water on top of it. You can put about 2 cups of hot water to that 1/4 cup of chamomile. And put a towel over the bowl. It makes the best sinus steam ever. It can kick all sorts of crazy business out of your head and out of your nose and out of your chest that oh my gosh, you wouldn't even believe how quickly it works. So if you have little ones that you're like, I cannot picture like a burning hot bowl in front of them and putting a towel over their head and like keeping them still, here's what I do. I make a tent. So we call it a campfire, and we make a tent. I sit the bowl in the middle. I have like little flashlights. I have a stack of books. I put our diffuser in there. I always diffuse like Raven or RC or eucalyptus, something for the upper respiratory system. And I keep it in the tent with us. And then I have the hot bowl in the middle. And what I do, I have a towel over it. I make sure I tell him not to touch it. And then in between pages of a book, I bring up the towel. I have him sniff 5 times because he's 5. So it goes 5 times. We put the towel down. I read another page of the book, and then he does 5 more sniffs. You would not believe how effective this is. Okay. Like seriously. And you can get a bag of dried chamomile off of Amazon. Frontier Co-op is the brand that I use for their elderberries and also for chamomile. You can get a ton of it, and it is cheap, and it is so fantastic to have. Bonus, it's also really great for your skin and for your complexion. So you can do that, but I do that at first sniffle. First sniffle, we do that. And then all throughout, if anyone has anything else happening. So I really recommend that. I like to put 1 drop of oregano oil into it because oregano oil is also antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's really great for sinuses too. Great for your immune system. Onions. Anybody want to guess why I have onions on here? Come on, could be fun. I'm sure you've heard like a wives' tale or two about onions, right? For feet, I like that. Hang around neck and socks, put them in your socks. I've heard those things too. I've actually heard that with potatoes. I've never done that, but this is going to be a little bit different. Okay. To make you cry. No, Denise, I'm not here to make anybody cry. Okay. So the onion, follow me with this because this is like mind expanding. An onion is for you to take. You can take an onion. It can just be a yellow onion. Okay. Any type of onion will really do, but I've used yellow ones. You take it, cut it in half. So you take half of the raw onion, cut it in half again. Okay, so then now you have a quarter and a quarter of an onion. Chop it up. Take a quarter of the onion, saute it for maybe 30 seconds on the stove, and take the other quarter of the onion and keep it raw. Mix them together, put them into, I use a cloth napkin, and I make it into a little envelope or a little compress, and you put it over a child's ear or an adult's ear, and it literally draws out an ear infection. So you put it over their ear, and then what I do, I take a knit cap, like a winter hat, I put it on top, so they walk around with like an onion. My son has done this so many times. I mean, I'm just laughing, but it works. Like, it is crazy. He walks around with this little, onion packet on his ear and the hat on. And some of you can be like, yeah, okay, my child would rip that off in like 30 seconds. Okay, so do it right at bedtime, pop it on, put the hat on. They want to get warm and cozy anyway, and have them wear it for literally as long as they will. If they fall asleep with it on, if it falls off in the middle of the night, totally fine. I swear to you, I did not believe it. And I took my son back to our doctor for 3 weeks, once a week for 3 weeks in a row. And every week she's like, Sarah, he's totally fine. Like, it's gone. And he had a full blown out ear infection. Like, it was fully infected. I said, just, I'm going to try this. I had learned about it during a natural wellness class that my doctor did. And I'm like, I'm going to bust this thing out. I'm going to put an onion on his head. The only side effect is that he smelled like onions for a couple of days, but I swear, like, it worked like a charm. And we have busted that onion hat out. I've told so many friends about it. It works wonders. Onion hat, really good. Okay. Next up, ground ginger. Ground ginger is incredible for chest. So anything happening with your chest. You're going to ask me, can I just use the oil instead? I'm going to say no to this one. And you're not going to hear me say that often. So you must use organic ground ginger. Anything that I have here is always going to be organic too. So what you do with that, you make a chest compress with it. And this is one of the things, the onion ear thing, the chamomile steam, the elderberry syrup, and the ground ginger. I have tutorials, video tutorials of all of those as well that I'm going to be posting. So the ground ginger, you take a tablespoon of ground ginger, put it in a bowl, mix it with about a quarter cup of cold water. You want to use cold water, not hot water, because of the consistency. So you're going to have it make like a paste. And then you add about half a cup of hot water. Mix it up, and then you take a compress. And the compress is a couple different towels that you use. It's a system. There's like a dish towel basically, and then inside you have a cloth napkin, and then on the very outside you have something flannel or fleece on the outside. And then you wrap it around their chest and have them lay with it on. So it's nice and warm. So the ginger liquid has absorbed into the compress. You put it on the chest, and it helps to open anything up. This is really great for a cough that just will not go away. Will not go away. It's amazing how well this works. And during all this time period, if you have someone who is under the weather, it's really great to keep their feet warm. So to not let people run around barefoot. If someone is under the weather, like that specific person is feeling under the weather, you want to bring warmth, especially to the lower half of the body. Because if your body is not feeling well and your feet are cold, a lot of your energy is going to have to go to warming up those feet rather than working on healing inside of your body. So I just want to make a side note about that too, to use we have wool socks that we wear during the fall and the winter time. They are so great for the body. In addition, just making sure you have long pants on. And it's hard for us, like we are a barefoot family. And I think that grounding is so important. But if someone is unwell in our household, you better believe that you will walk in and we will have wool socks on. And that's something that we learned from our physician. And I just told my son, I'm like, Dr. Greer said you have to wear socks. So he just does it. But the more warmth you can bring to the body, the better. So we also have an old school hot water bottle, like one of those red hot water bottles that you just fill up with hot water. And we use that when we're doing the chamomile steam. Someone will hold that on their lap. When we're doing the onion hat, we'll lay that underneath someone's legs. When we're doing the ground ginger compress, we'll put that right next to someone to try to warm up their core. So we use those hot water bottles. We have 2 of those in our household, and we use them to help to bring warmth, especially throughout the night when someone's sleeping, because the more warmth you can bring to the body, the less work your body has to do to bring warmth to it, if that makes sense. So try to keep lots of warmth. Lemons are amazing too. There's a technique that you can do to actually help to calm a fever. I know that I always get text messages about, oh my gosh, my son has a fever, my daughter has a fever, what should I do? I don't have time to go through exactly how I feel about fevers tonight. You can talk to your health practitioner about that, or you can do research about that too. Really look up what the cycle of a fever is and how signs of what a fever is and what is typical for basically the life cycle of a fever. Because a lot of people want to suppress it immediately. We say, oh my gosh, there's a fever, something's wrong, I have to make the fever go away. We do not use, we don't use Tylenol, we don't use acetaminophen, we don't use ibuprofen at all on my son or myself. If I were to have a fever, we let the fever run its course with doctor supervision. And lemons are a really great part that you can do to help bring comfort to the body. You can actually use the lemon rinds. You can put them onto your brain fart with what this part of your leg is, but on your shin. You can put them on your shin and you can wrap them. And that can help to bring comfort to your body, natural comfort to your body without medicating it and helping to mask what's going on, because the fever is really there to help to fight the infection. And if your fever is able to run its course, that's where you're going to have immunity from whatever's happening within your body. You can also use peppermint oil during a fever to help to bring a little bit of cooling to the body. You can add that to Epsom salts. You can also put it on the bottom of the feet topically or on the spine. And that's a great tip too. Bone broth, my goodness. We're going to get into a little bit of diet and nutrition, but bone broth is so, so good to have on hand. It's really healing in so many different ways. And I just always have loads of this, loads and loads and loads of this in my household over the fall and the winter time. Making your own is rather easy. You can Google a recipe. I'm sure that some of you have recipes that are in here too, if any of you want to share. And I'm going to be sharing, I think I have a recipe in here too, but it is just so good to help to replenish your body and to help to nourish your body, especially when someone isn't feeling well. All right, I'm going to go. I can't believe how many of these things I have for you guys. I may not even get through all this. Okay. So what is one thing that you learned from this slide? What's one thing that you're like, I'm going to add that to my toolkit? Let me know one thing that you are looking to add to your toolkit from there. I love it. Onion hat. Chamomile with the towel. Dried chamomile, ground ginger. Love it. Chamomile. I know. So, so good. Okay. All right. We're moving right along to the next one. Colloidal silver. All right. How many of you use this? Does anybody use colloidal silver in here? Do you use it? How do you use it? It's been around forever. I use this. I have like a nose spray that we use that has colloidal silver. I have just a regular colloidal silver. You want to make sure that you get the best colloidal silver if you're using it. Let's see. Everything, yes, okay. Sovereign silver, yes, when needed, yes, a dropper bottle, yes. Using it in your eye, yeah, throat mixture, ear infections. Ooh, in chicken water. Ooh, I like that. Cool. Okay. So we use this for so many different things. It has been around for, my research says, at least 6,000 years to prevent microbial infections. So much information. I have a ton of information in here about how to find good colloidal silver, what you want to look for as well. So we use this as most in our homes. If somebody's sinuses are acting up, we use a spray that we use instead of like a nasal spray. And I absolutely love it. It works wonders. A bonus is that Thieves mouthwash has colloidal silver in it. So I will do an extra gargle with our mouthwash if I'm feeling any kind of way, because I love to use colloidal silver to gargle with as well if my throat is feeling a little bit sore, because I talk a lot. I'm in a lot of teaching settings. Yeah, so I love that. And it works wonders. It works wonders to help cut the duration of an illness. I do not use it necessarily as a preventative. I use it more as a reactive. But I absolutely love it. So that's definitely one that I would add to my toolkit if you do not have that already. Dandy tea is another one. So dandy tea is like a dandelion tea. So there's regular dandelion tea, and there is dandy tea, which is like with a little bit of chicory root that's in there too. It is incredible to help to detox your liver. So it's good if someone is needing to get rid of some buildup that you have going on. We use that in our home. It tastes similar to coffee. I don't drink coffee, but it does taste similar to it. It has a little bit of barley in it, a little bit of rye. It has dandelion, chicory, and also beet roots. And it's really, really great. I love it. And like I said, we use that with a little bit of raw local honey in order to just help for like a soothing tea to help to detox your body as well. So I really recommend that. I have CBD on here. I always keep CBD on here to help with sleep, to help with inflammation, to help to boost your immune system too. I love using that. I get my dandy tea from Amazon, and I also get it locally from King's Herb Nook. King's Herb Nook is in Honeybrook. I get it from there, but yeah, I get dandy tea from Amazon. You can get single packets, or you can get a larger packet, and it works really, really well. We love that. And there's one brand. If you look up dandy tea, that's going to be the brand. So CBD is fantastic. We use it, like I said, for inflammation. We use it for help with digestion. We use it to help with sleep, especially if someone isn't feeling well. I like to use this as a maintenance product myself. So I will take this in the evening time to help with sleep and to help with stress management too. But I really, I love our CBD. I love it. The citrus one is my absolute favorite. It tastes delicious. I could talk about CBD forever, but I always have that one on hand. Diet. So if you are not feeling well, some things that I do, I cut sugar. I cut sugar from my diet almost immediately, because sugar can lower your immune system within 6 hours, especially added sugars. I also will cut dairy from my diet. I do that because I feel like in my body that inflammation runs rampant, and I notice a lot more mucus within my body when I have dairy. I make sure to up my probiotic usage during that time too, to help to support my gut health. And I want to nix processed foods from my diet as much as possible. So you're going to see me drinking tons of water, having loads and loads of bone broth, and really focusing on whole foods during that time. So those are some dietary tips. Dry brushing is great for your lymphatic system. You can get a dry brush. I recommend a natural bristled dry brush. You can look up different dry brushing techniques, but basically dry brushing helps to stimulate and detox your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is closely related to your immune system, and it makes you feel good. It helps with circulation, but it also helps with that detoxification. I love to use lemon oil as well when I need a little bit of extra support with my lymphatic system. Like if I notice with my throat that my glands are feeling a little bit tender, I just take lemon oil, I rub it right onto my glands, and I kind of rub it like that. So I'll rub it in a circular motion, and then I'll rub it down to help to drain whatever is happening in there. So dry brushing is a part of my routine regularly, but I make sure to up it with the lemon oil if I know that something isn't quite right. Eliminating toxins. So there are so many toxins around us, and I don't want to get into, Thank you for sharing that, Natasha. She shared a link for an alternative for Amazon. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to look at that link. Azure Standard. I didn't even hear about that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So eliminating toxins. There are so many toxins. I don't want to overwhelm you with all the toxins that are in the world, because literally if you just look up this, you could really go down a rabbit hole and not sleep at all. So we're not going to do that. So we're going to focus on 3 things: going fragrance free in your home, because especially during, anytime, but especially during the fall and winter time, if you have something that is a fragrance, fragrances are upper respiratory irritants. So I'm talking about synthetic fragrances here. That's very different compared to an essential oil. Fragrances are synthetic, they're chemical based, synthetic chemical based, and they are known upper respiratory irritants. So typical offenders are going to be plugins that are in your home. They're going to be dryer sheets that are in your home. Oh my gosh, they're going to be room sprays, right? Things like that. Even your trash bags, my goodness, can be fragranced. And these are all things that if you have someone who is sensitive in their upper respiratory system, just something like that could trigger, especially an allergy or another type of upper respiratory type of distress. Yep, soap, shampoo, everything has fragrance, okay? Everything has fragrance. So you want to take a look. If you just purchase things that do not have fragrance, you're going to be one much bigger step above, because chances are it's not going to have a lot of other things that are listed in here for you to avoid. Dye free. This is going to be for your food. Okay. You do not want synthetic dyes in your foods. They're no bueno, for a lot of different reasons, and also BPA free. All right. I use glass or stainless whenever possible, but limiting your exposure to those BPAs is going to be really best for your health. For the bristles, the bristles for the dry brushing, I think I want to say I use forehead bristles. Is that probably normal? They're definitely natural bristle brushes. I want to say that they're boar's head, but I know that they're really soft, like super soft. If you look up a dry brush, I'm sure that you'll be able to find that natural bristle dry brush. Okay, out of these, what's one thing that you're going to add to your toolbox? Before I ramble on to the next one. Yay, Dandy Tea. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you guys are excited about that one. Dry brushing Dandy Tea, yay. Okay, good stuff. Dry brushing, love it. Okay, am I here already? No, wait, hold on. I thought I had way more than this. Hold on one second. Yeah, all right. See, I have so much, guys. Jeez Louise. I am not gonna be able to cover all this. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit quickly so that I can get to some of the non-emergent situations and you can ask a few questions too. Yes, okay. Epsom salt baths. These are lifesavers. This is what I do. I have just a big old thing of, we love Dead Sea salt Epsom salts. You can find them on Amazon. Maybe you can find them on that other website too. I have a link for you that I'm going to share within the handout. And we just keep a big, huge jar of them with a measuring cup underneath our sink. And we scoop it and then we add oils to it as we go. Ledum oil is especially good for detoxification. Especially good for detoxification. In addition, I am going to share with you a bunch of other recipes that are good for all different types of things. Like if you are feeling like you were hit by a bus, like you need recovery, or if you have a fever, or if you need to relax, I have loads and loads and loads of recipes for you. They help to keep blood pressure normal. They help to cleanse the liver, flush toxins, help with proteins in your joints, help with brain tissue. My goodness, there are so many different recipes. So that's something easy that you can do in your bath. You can also, if you just take showers for yourself, you can pop some in the bottom of the shower. You can plug the shower up. You can enjoy aromatic benefits and have a little bit of a detox with your feet while you're having a shower. Enzymes. We always keep enzymes in our home. For our little ones, it's Mighty Zymes. For myself, it's Essential Zymes. And why do you need enzymes? Oh my gosh, they're so good for digestion. They're good to basically, in a nutshell, help your body to absorb nutrients better through food and to excrete waste better after eating. Okay. You can find so many different enzymes that are out there and that are on the market. I love Young Living supplements because they're all whole food supplements. So I get my supplements at one spot. You can use enzymes like there's an enzyme that we have that's Essential Zyme 4. If you just notice that you have discomfort after eating specific types of foods, you can use that. You could use Allerzyme if you have food sensitivities, you can use that one. And then there's Detoxzyme if you are really in need of like a digestive overhaul. For little ones, I keep Mighty Zymes because I think that they're great to use if someone has severe digestive issues like constipation all the time, or that they're not having regular bowel movements. That's great, but you can also use these as needed. And fermented foods. Okay. Fermented foods are incredible. We have so many ferments going on right now in our home. And why they are good is because, again, they help to put natural probiotics into your belly. So they're going to help to break down food. They're going to help you have normal digestion. They're going to help put good bacteria in your gut, so help to replenish that good bacteria. Sorry, I just noticed that my laptop's going to die. So you can help to get really good bacteria into your belly to break down food. And guess what? A healthy gut is going to be a healthy immune system. So the more that you can do for your gut, the better. And not only a healthy gut, but a healthy immune system, but also a healthy gut and a healthy mind. So I have suffered back and forth for much of my life with anxiety and depression. And I truly believe that I am where I am due to nourishing my gut and really making that a huge focus for myself. They can help to restore your gut after taking antibiotics if it's something that you have to take, because by all means, antibiotics, there's a time and a place for them as well. But I love them. So what are some examples? Kombucha is one of them. You could do fermented pickles, fermented sauerkraut, fermented salsa, kefir. You could do kimchi. There are all different types of ferments. You can get a lot of them at your local health food store. I know locally I get them at Kimberton Whole Foods. And they are very, very simple to create on your own as well. Golden milk is another really great detoxification drink that you can use if someone is not feeling well. Manuka honey or other raw local honey. This is great for allergies. This is great to use instead of cough syrup to help to coat your throat, to help, just to help to support your body. And we're going to go to number 4. All right. Neti Pot. I love a good Neti Pot. So we have a Neti Pot to help with sinus stuff in our home. Nature Red is one of my absolute favorite supplements, hands down. Why? Because it is super high in antioxidants. It will help to support your immune system. It helps to support digestion. It helps to support so much. I have my son begging me for this every single day. And during the wintertime, it is game on. I feel like the berries aren't good from the grocery store. Like all of those natural antioxidant rich foods are not in season. So I love to drink even more of this during the fall and the winter time. Probiotics, I talked a little bit about those. I use Life 9 personally. I take it right before bedtime. The reason that I take my probiotic before bedtime is because then it has time to work and to let the good bacteria do its thing. My son, he takes Mighty Pro and he loves it. A raindrop massage or a raindrop roller. The raindrop oils are life-changing. I know I just saw Denise, who's in here tonight. I saw her this evening and she came, she's like, oh my gosh, I just had a raindrop massage. They're fantastic. If you are local, I can share with you, we have a few practitioners who are in our community who give raindrop massages. They're incredible for the immune system. They're great for, oh my gosh, for your spine. They are great for your overall wellness. You can also make a roller. Like I have a roller that I'm going to be taking with me tomorrow on our trip to roll down our spine, to roll under our feet for a super immune system support. A rebounder or a trampoline. I still use my son's Little Tykes trampoline when I need a jump. And this is why, because it is fantastic for lymphatic support. I literally had my doctor prescribe me to go and to jump on a trampoline. She said, and don't make it pretty, like do it messy, let your arms flail, like let your body shake, because you want the body to be moving, to have the lymph that's in your body just get out and like start to drain, and then it'll come out during urination and bowel movements. Salt lamps, not only are they pretty, but research shows that they can also help to improve air quality in your home. And I think this is the last one. My goodness. Okay, sauna. So I asked my doctor what her opinion was, especially prevention during times like these. And she said that sauna and sweating is your best source of prevention. It's also your best source of detoxification. So sweat is your friend, my friends. Like soak it all up. Well, don't soak it all up, get it all out. Vitamin C, vitamin D, we have Super C and Super D, which are chewable. We love them. I love them because I can give one to my son and I can take some for myself as well. And we absolutely, positively love them in our home. We take them as a preventative during the fall and winter months, and we up the dosage as needed. I take one as a preventative, and then I up it to as many as 3 times a day if we need to. ImmuPro is a supplement that has zinc in it. It also has melatonin, so it helps you to sleep if you are not feeling well. helps your little ones to sleep if they're not feeling well, and it helps your body to do its thing to heal. Liquid zinc, I take Mary Ruth's Organics brand that I get from Amazon, and I love it. I put it in my Ningxia every morning. That is another supplement that I only take seasonally. And get your walk on, get some sunshine, especially in the morning time. If you can get outside, have skin exposed for at least 10 minutes without sunblock on to soak up some of that real, vitamin D from the sun. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I had a whole other part of the presentation, but I didn't get to it, which is okay because I'm giving you all the notes. And basically the last part of the presentation is going to be for emergent situations or non-emergent situations. I apologize. And ways that you can quickly use oils, use supplements, use things that are on hand for things like a headache or a fever or different things like that. So here's my information if you'd like to connect with me. Sarah Marie Paul on Instagram with the underscores, Sarah Marie Paul on Facebook. Here's my email, Mindful Oil Moments. And what I'm going to get for you is also that Google form. So here's the deal. If you don't fill out the Google form, you don't get the document. You have to fill it out so I can get your email. That's the reason that I want it, is just for your email to send you the PDF. I'm not going to do anything else with it. So let me get that information now for you, and I will put it in the thread. Okay, what was your favorite thing that we discussed, or a question that you have? Question that you still have, or one thing, like your favorite thing that you learned. Julie, was it ledum oil? Okay, ledum. Yeah, ledum is L-E-D-U-M. That is an essential oil. I'd had it for the longest time and I had no idea. The onion for the ears. You're welcome. I know, that's a good one. That one's going to stick with you. It is, especially if you call it onion head or onion hat. Yeah, you're welcome. That is a really good one. Extremely good for detoxification. Really good for liver functioning too. Ooh, awesome. How do you use it, Dawn? Let me know. She said she loves ledum. Colloidal silver and dandy tea. Easy ones to put into your toolbox. Good. I'm so glad that you enjoyed everything. All right. And you have my information. So feel free to message me with any questions. Like I said, I have so much information in this handout. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm going to be posting one link. I think I'm going to do it every Monday, but I have all these videos that were done. My girlfriend and I did them, and it is one of those homeopathic tips a week. So then you can just save them and you can have it for if you're in a pinch and you have to do that thing and you're like, oh my gosh, what did she say? And you take out your notes and you don't know what it looks like. I'm a very visual person, so I'm hoping that those really help you out as well. Okay, then I included the Google form here. I'm also going to put it in the Facebook event, if that's how you found out about this evening, so that you can just fill out the form. It'll only take about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Give me your email, and then I will send everything out to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you all had a good night, and I will catch you on the flip side. Oh wait, next Monday, I always forget about this. Next Monday night, our summer social call is on making your home cozy. It's all going to be about all things fall related, and we're going to have a whole bunch of guest speakers as well. So I will make sure in the email to include the link for that if you'd like to register for that class as well. And I hope that you have a good night. Take care.